Pressure.
Give me sutures on Kelly.
Need nappy.
No arterial impact. Alert trauma.
Let the record show that we are officially convening disciplinary hearing regarding the events of February 3rd, 2012 in patient room 209. Dr. House, this recording will be transcribed and published along with all supporting documentation and rulings. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Yeah. Who the hell are you?
I'm Walter Cofield, Chief of Neurology, Mercy Hospital. I'll be deciding your fate today.
Cofield. You were the residency director at Hopkins before you moved to Mercy, which means it's safe to assume that you trained Foreman, which means it's also safe to assume that he trusts you.
This hearing isn't about me, Dr. House. I know you'd like to make it about me because then it wouldn't be about you.
It's interesting that he picked the old mentor to judge the new one.
Interesting, but not relevant. The facts of this case.
Facts are in the
hand-
file. If you have trouble reading my handwriting, give me a call. I'm going back to work.
If I just consider the file, the facts aren't in your favor. Facts say you should be suspended, which, from what I understand, would mean a revocation of your parole.
Patient was a 32-year-old high school chemistry teacher. He collapsed while out jogging. He was paralyzed in all four extremities, despite the fact that scans showed
Showed no sign of stroke or structural lesions.
put out an APB for a car with a man-shaped dent in the grille.
No broken bones, no signs of trauma.
Transverse myelitis. Boring.
No enhancement on the MRI. I just don't know what to do. Please, you have to help me solve this thing.
Little poetic license.
What are you doing?
Taking my vitamins
Was it Vicodin? Did you have surgery recently?
about a decade ago. My leg is no good at judging time.
Were you taking Vicodin during this case?
Yes. And during about 9 years of previous cases, my process has proven good things usually happen, bad things sometimes happen.
And when bad things happen, we should figure out what went wrong so we can learn from it and correct it.
So we can assign blame instead of recognizing that bad things sometimes happen. It's nobody's fault.
And then what happened?
Those who can do, those who can't teach. Those who can't teach, teach gym. Those who can't move their arms or legs, teach us to laugh at others.
House actually presented the case in that way, or are you just trying to make him look bad?
Why would I be trying to make him look bad?
Could be your not-so-subtle way of implying this was House's fault. Given what's happened, it's understandable that your opinion would color your testimony, but I just want to know what you said, what you did, and what you were thinking at the time.
I don't think it was his fault.
Just tell me your initial theory.
I thought the patient had a liver problem. Hepatic encephalopathy explained why he passed out, why he couldn't move his limbs.
But that's not the idea House went with.
He thought Taub's idea was stupid.
And what about your idea?
He thought that was stupid too.
No, I meant, what was it?
Oh, I thought the patient had normal pressure hydrocephalus.
And why did House think that was stupid?
Oh, come on. Unless you're an idiot, you know I thought Park was an idiot.
Patient had low opening pressure in his LP.
That's what I said. No, you idiot. Patient had low opening pressure on his LP. Try unsquinting your eyes and reading the labs next time.
You intentionally trying to get me to dislike you?
That was me. Chair squeaked.
You're testifying, for the record, that you actually used the phrasing unsquint your eyes? It's not the place to exercise your guilt. Just one
I
of those.
actually used the phrasing unsquint your eyes.
He's hypokalemic, could indicate a problem with his heart, which...
EKG was normal.
But Chase, a doctor who actually takes the time to read the lab reports, has a point. Guy's potassium is off. Could be thyrotoxic paralysis. Start him on steroids, PTU, and beta blockers.
And how did these orange smudges get on the patient files?
Seriously? That's your follow-up? I eat a lot of Cheetos, I forget to wash my hands. Is my snacking really relevant to this case?
Might be. If these were actually Cheetos stains. What are they?
Seriously, House?
You're blaming me? You used Adams' shampoo.
I didn't do it.
It was a harmless prank. My team is made up of type A personalities. They need somebody to break the tension every once in a while.
So this was a team-building exercise?
Is that what he called it?
That's what he implied.
House prefers chaos over cohesion. He believes that disagreement and mistrust lead to better ideas. He's not wrong.
As opposed to being right? So you...
I do this demonstration every year. I usually have a student aide help me set it up. Apparently this year, he added extra hydrofluoric acid, which is why it exploded.
The student aide was just trying to make a viral video, not hurt anyone. Ended up doing both. So we figured the patient inhaled the extra large dose of hydrofluoric acid and burned his lungs, which is why he coughed up blood.
If only burnt lungs explain the passing out and paralysis.
The explosion does. Check out the video again. He smacked his head against the wall. If that caused swelling in his brainstem, that would have led to eventual loss of consciousness and paralysis. So we discussed it a little longer, and House decided to treat with heparin.
I wouldn't mind a couple more details.
It was aerosolized heparin.
You skipped over the actual DDX, and now you're averting your eyes. I'm growing more and more curious by the moment.
He smacked his head against the wall. If that caused swelling in his brainstem, that would have led to eventual loss of consciousness and paralysis.
Nobody move!
He had on a what?
Gas mask. The stink bomb was Chase's. He was getting revenge for the orange hair and rigged it in House's office. But House found it.
You can leave when I have an answer.
It would help if we knew the question.
How do we treat chemical burns inside the lungs?
Maybe we could use a bronchoalveolar lavage to wash them out with water?
Sorry, my fault. Should have clarified. How do we treat chemical burns inside the lungs without killing the patient?
Silver sulfadiazide works well with the chemical burns.
Burn cream would drown him faster than water. Well?
Aerosolized heparin.
Me like you.
But that's only experimental. It's never actually been used before.
Not true.
Been used in sheep. The guy was going downhill fast. We needed a treatment that was a slope changer.
So you busted out the sulfur dioxide stink bomb?
Just a team-building exercise.
No, it was manipulation. You were pressuring your team into coming up with unsafe medical ideas just to get out of that room.
You say pressure, I say inspire. The usual safe ideas were not going to work. Aerosolized heparin might.
And everyone else just went along with this.
No, I told House I thought it was a mistake.
And those were your exact words.
I think I might have said insane?
You thought it was insane, and yet you let it happen.
No,
If you disagree with Dr. House on patient safety, doctor, it is your duty to speak up. Otherwise, you are equally to blame.
I did speak up. I tried.
And you failed.
And that's why I went to Dr. Foreman. The heparin